Hi everyone, this is my post for discussion 7 for HTOR 474. In this case, we talked about a scenario during the high school rodeo, or the National High School Rodeo Finals, when there was a high demand for hotels, and guests had already booked their rooms in advance under the impression that they would be paying the rate they were told when they booked, but then they were surprised to find out that the rates had been significantly increased or raised upon their arrival, which can cause frustration. So for my own experience, I haven't done much traveling myself, so I don't, or like by myself, so I don't have that experience with hotels specifically, but I have experienced it maybe in some other ways, whether it's small, like an entrance fee to an event, or it could be even bigger, like plane tickets. Sometimes those prices change, and those are just examples of some things that can change depending on the demand of that thing. And like the scenario we talked about, learning about this after the fact is frustrating, especially when you think you're going to pay one price and you've budgeted for that price, but it becomes a lot higher when it's time to pay for it. That can cause a lot of annoyance and a lot of frustration very quickly if the sellers are not aware of that. So using the 12 principles of inventory and price management as a revenue manager, I would focus on having, first of all, careful communication, just with guests, internal and external guests. I would want my staff to understand, but then I'd also want those external guests to understand as well. And then instead of implementing that increased rate before they arrive, switch to an upon arrival upsell. So you can have the guest switch when they get there instead of switching for them before they arrive. It'll make the guests seem like they're a little bit more in control. You can make it appealing to them and then create value for them as well, to do that upsell. And then I would also monitor the groups that would be there, different types of groups. If there's big groups staying, I would look over that, make sure that their contracts are correct, and just review what those say to be very careful about keeping those contracts. And then I would also try to avoid intentionally overbooking, especially if it's for a big event like that National High School Rodeo Final, that would cause a lot of people to come in. And then most importantly, as a revenue manager, I would make sure to train my staff to make sure they understand exactly what to say to the guests and how to explain the rates when guests have negative reactions to them. Training would be the best way to just ensure that everyone's on the same page and keep everybody happy. So that's all I have for this post. Let me know what you think, and thank you guys for listening.